I was getting a little bored with short hair, so I bought some long hair. And I'm feeling What is up, my lemonheads, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I am a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. We are gathered here today to talk about disgraced fitness influencer turned Jesus seeker and purity pusher, Brittany Dawn. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lols and some dry sarcasm along the way, why not hit that subscribe button now and join the Lemonade Stand? I would really love to have you here. Without anything further, let's make lemonade. So let's start here. Who is Brittany Dawn? Brittany Dawn Davis is a Dallas, Texas-based Instagram influencer whose platform is very heavily Christian-based. She's got a bright smile, pretty platinum blonde hair, an ex-cop husband who, during his time protecting and serving the community, brutalized a cooperative citizen who he was trying to apprehend by slamming him to the ground and injuring his face. She also has an adorable dog. She had another dog, but a few months ago, her husband Mercy unalived it. Yeah, you weren't expecting all that, were you? We are diving straight in. Brittany Dawn is married to a man named Jordan Nelson. Now, to detail the incident that I was just referring to, back in 2013, Jordan Nelson was a Kansas City, Missouri police officer, and he and a few other officers were responding to a call about a suspicious person, and they were dispatched to East 34th Street. There they saw an individual who allegedly fit the description of tall black male in black clothing. Although that description is extremely vague, there is dash cam footage of this whole incident, and that the person that they were talking about does fit the description. 5 officers, one of them being Jordan Nelson, approached the man whose name was Joshua Bills, and as is visible by dash cam footage that is released, Bills was cooperative as the officers approached him. He stood there calmly, pulled his hands out of his pockets and placed them at his side. He seemed to be doing what they asked him to do, so it took me by complete surprise when Jordan Nelson, Brittany Dawn's God-fearing husband, grabbed Bills by one of his extended arms, kicked his legs out from underneath him, and forcefully pulled him down to the ground. This caused Bills to smash his face hard against the pavement without being able to use his arms to break his fall, which resulted in injuries to his face. Jordan Nelson was later relieved of his duty as a police officer. Wow, Brianna, that's pretty terrible. There's no possible way it could get worse though, right? Right? No, it gets worse. Just a few months ago in October of 2021, Brittany Dawn posted a tearful video to her YouTube channel in which she details the events leading up to her husband Mercy killing their dog, basically. She and her husband left the house to run an errand and irresponsibly left their dogs outside in the yard unattended. Upon returning from said errand, she saw her dog Brody lying in the road. He had been hit and was severely injured. Instead of taking him to an emergency vet to learn the extent of his injuries and to see if maybe he could be saved, Jordan Nelson, that's her God-fearing ex-cop husband, tried to keep up, took it upon himself to execute their dog. Brittany said that she used to be a veterinary technician, and from that experience, she said that she could tell that her dog couldn't be saved, and that shooting Brody was the best choice. So I don't know about you, but I'm already extremely triggered, and we're not even that far into this video. I really don't get triggered a lot, but I'm like really triggered right now. Brittany is on Instagram as @TheRealBrittanyDawn and has around 466,000 followers, and if you peruse her page, you will be bombarded with a lot of her sharing Bible verses, religiously conservative ideals, and her being proud of her faith, which honestly, depending on your faith, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't know if this is relevant to the conversation. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'll say it anyway. I've never talked about my religious beliefs, or I guess should I say lack thereof, on my channel because it's not relevant to my content. I'm not a religious commentator. That's just not what I do. But if it's not obvious to those of you who've been following me for a while, I'm not religious at all. I do not believe in the existence of a sky daddy. I'm an atheist, but I don't know, sometimes I hover back and forth between that and being agnostic. But the reason that I say I'm like sometimes agnostic, because there are times when I do put my faith in higher forces, but those forces are just not a celestial sky being that you might call God. Well, that to say, I 100% respect other people's religious beliefs, and I trust everyone else will respect my beliefs as well in the comments section and not try to convert me. Thank you so much. You're entitled to your own beliefs, and you are allowed to believe in whatever God you want to believe in. I'm personally of the opinion that unless unless your beliefs or practices are directly harming other people, or you're imposing your beliefs on me or other people, then believe whatever you want to believe. I'm saying that because I am going to be, you guys know I'm sarcastic and snarky little bitch sometimes, but there is going to be like maximum snark and sarcasm, and I'm going to be bringing up the fact that she's ultra religious now. And I know there's going to be people in the comments that are like, I've been a devout Christian or devout whatever my whole life, and we're not all like this. I know, okay? I promise you guys, I know you're not all like that. I know that there are some really genuinely amazing people who are genuinely good at heart, who also identify as devout, you know, whatever faith you are. I know that. I know you're not all like this. I really do. But the fact of the matter is there are people who are like this. And those of you who are awesome have to still exist with people who are like this. And it sucks for you because they kind of make you guys look bad. So again, regardless of the fact that I'm an atheist, I still fully respect all of your beliefs. Again, unless your beliefs are hurting somebody else or you're imposing them on other people, go off. I fully respect you. Now, that being said, I don't have any respect for Brittany Dawn. And the reason I have no respect for her beliefs is because I firmly believe, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with this, I firmly believe that she has shifted her platform from the fitness stuff to the Jesus stuff as an attempt to rebrand after the whole scammy fitness influencer fiasco. She also comes off as extremely judgmental very often, I think, on her socials. And with all this, she's also taking up pushing and promoting purity, aka no sexy time for you unless you're married. No showing your legs, girls. That gives the boys impure thoughts. And I personally think that the push of purity culture by many religions does more harm than good. And generally, it's usually forced on women being the ones who have to stay pure in the eyes of the Lord, as if having sex before you're married makes you impure and unworthy of marriage or a life partner. Not the Good Girl made a really good video on Brittany Dawn sometime last year. And she talked more about Brittany Dawn's new push for purity culture and how purity culture can really be just damaging, especially to young girls, and you know, like how it has a tendency to hinder sexuality, and then people kind of grow up like, you know, with really, really unhealthy thoughts surrounding sex and relationships and things like that. I'll link it below. It also wouldn't surprise me if she was somebody who's like pro abstinence and like pushes abstinence culture. I mean, she probably is. I'm talking about Brittany Dawn now. She probably is, and honestly, what's so ironic about abstinence only education in schools is that not only has it been proven to not help with teen pregnancy rates, it's actually believed that it actually is a contributor to increasing teen pregnancy rates. Like, I'm laughing at the irony. Like, it's not funny, but it's just crazy to me how there's like statistical evidence that abstinence only education is like pushed in a lot of highly conservative and religious states, but like it doesn't work. Like, you're not only is it not helping, it's actually hurting. Anyway, sorry, I went on a little rant. So anyway, if you visit Brittany Dawn's platform now, it's a lot of her preaching her faith, but her platform was not always like this. So it was just a few years ago, back in 2019, that Brittany Dawn had a lot more followers than she has now. Then she had around 100,000 followers more than what she has now. And her feed was a lot less Jesus and a lot more fitness. And during that time, her Instagram handle was Brittany Dawn Fitness, which is a super original fitness influencer Instagram social media handle. She rose to popularity through posting workouts, sharing her journey with an eating disorder, sharing photos of food, and before and after pictures. Pretty much standard fare, as you'd see with most fitness influencers. Keep in mind that bit that I just said about eating disorders, because that's important, and it's going to come up again later. So it was around like 2013, 2014 that Brittany decided that she was going to, that Brittany decided she was going to start taking on individual clients. Now, being that the height of this controversy was around 2 to 3 years ago, and because she's done her best to kind of rebrand herself and effectively erase this part of her history and separate herself from her past as a fitness influencer, it's tough to find more details about exactly how she branded herself then. And by that, I mean her education and qualifications. Some sources I found claim that at the time she held her NASM fitness nutrition certification. She also claimed that she was a certified, a credentialed fitness professional, but never listed any qualifications or certifications or anything that proved that she held those fitness certifications. I found a lot of publications that pretty much said this same thing. Like she said that she was a fitness professional or implied that she was a fitness professional, things like that. No, I always say it in the intro, but my personal training certification is actually through NASM or NASM. When I got my PT cert from them, I also took their fitness nutrition specialist. Yeah, I also took their fitness nutrition specialist certification. It is not the same as a personal training certification. It is extremely general, and while I do think it provided like some decent information, in the grand scheme of things, you really can't do anything with it. But that apparently didn't stop Miss Britt. One of the things that Brittany promised with her training programs was individualized plans for everybody, as well as giving people their macronutrient distribution breakdown, aka counting macros. The important thing to note here is that she promised that these plans would be customized to the client. Therefore, you wouldn't expect the same cookie cutter plan be passed around to everybody. The point of a custom plan is to tailor it so that it meets the client's needs, goals, and capabilities. So she went on and successfully sold her workout plans to hundreds of thousands of people, most of these people being women. And for a while, things seemed to be going pretty well for the fitness influencer. She was fitness influencing all over town and just loving life. Something else that I want to take the time to point out here is the pricing of her plans. This is a huge red flag to me, and I actually brought this up when I did my deep dive on fitness influencer Michi Peachy. For what Brittany was offering, her plans were priced suspiciously cheap.
You know, expecting her to help me, she basically blew me off.
Lippin says that she paid $185 for 2 months of individualized workouts with weekly check-ins and macro adjustments, but that she never received any of these services, and saying she has only been offered up to a half refund.
$185 for 2 months of custom workouts, macronutrient breakdown, and weekly check-ins is dirt cheap. Some of her plans went up to $300. That one was $300 for 3 months of individualized coaching and training. I can honestly say myself, as a personal trainer, that is a goddamn bargain. This is why true fitness professionals hate influencers. Yes, I said hate. Deal with it. Many of these influencers, I would even say most of these influencers, have no training, no credentials, no education, yet they're shilling plans for these dirt cheap prices. And what happens is a truly educated and credentialed fitness professional trying to sell their quality services for a lot more money, they can't do that, because then people are like, well, that influencer is only charging $200 and you want $600. I'm gonna go with them because they're cheaper. If you choose cheap, you get cheap. That $600 sounds like a lot of money, but you're getting quality, you're getting what you pay for, and you're getting someone who knows what the they're doing, hopefully. But when influencers like this show up and show their these services for a fraction of the price of actual professionals, it makes it hard for the professional to justify their pricing, and it also just hurts actual professionals in the entire industry. So around 2018 to 2019, some damning information about Miss Dawn's training services started creeping to the surface. And the reason I use the word creep is because this information quite literally crept. We, the public, would find out later that for a long time, if any dissatisfied customer left a comment that complained or criticized her, like under an Instagram post, after not being able to reach her directly, she was not only deleting comments, but she was blocking people to keep them from reaching out to her further. This was her form of customer service, ignoring her clients and blocking them so that they couldn't reach out to her anymore and she didn't have to deal with it. Well, you can't silence everyone forever, and eventually clients began coming forward saying that the services that they were promised were not delivered and people wanted refunds. For example, one chief complaint is that she promised weekly check-ins for all her clients, but when clients would reach out to her, they would get a very generic, obviously copied and pasted response like, "You go, girl, so proud of you." And a lot of people never even got responses from her at all and were just completely ghosted. On top of all that, at some point people started realizing that the plans that they were given were not customized and everybody was just given the same cookie cutter plan. Now, giving 2 different clients squats and lunges, that's not a problem, but the customization comes in recognizing those 2 different clients' capabilities and fitness level, having them do their squats and lunges at different levels of resistance or at different volumes. Things like that would make it tailored to the individual. Eventually, a Facebook group called Brittany Dawn Fitness Complaints was formed, and it was composed of her dissatisfied customers, which at one point was around 4,000 individuals.
And she is not alone. There are nearly 4,000 members of a Facebook group, Brittany Dawn Fitness Complaints.
4,000 people. I have 3 clients right now, and the thought of having more than 3 seriously gives me heart palpitations. How does a person give 4,000 people the individualized attention and service they need? Oh, right. They don't. She had done a lot of damage and she had to find a way to control it. People wanted refunds because the services they were promised were not the same services that were being delivered. So how did Brittany respond? She started to issue refunds, of course. Sort of. Brittany Dawn began issuing partial refunds, but not to everyone. People were offered a refund only if they agreed to sign an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement. An NDA is basically just something that you sign where you agree to not talk about something.
But that she never received any of these services, and saying she has only been offered up to a half refund.
Thank you so much for reaching out to me, girl, and for the constructive criticism. This is Brittany that you're talking with. I am so sorry that I let you down, and for that I take full responsibility. I'm here now to make things right in any way that I can moving forward. I would be more than happy to refund you for the 2016 Fall Challenge program. My attorney will also be asking anyone who is refunded to sign an NDA agreement for confidentiality purposes from this point moving forward to protect my name, my brand, and my business in any future situation in person or online. The disclosure will need to be signed before the refund can be made.
I, as well as many people, find this incredibly shady and a bit cowardly too. Why can't you just recognize that your services were garbage and that you owe people their money back without trying to silence them in the process? So people who signed NDAs got refunds. I think there were partial refunds. A source told me that they know of somebody who got a $25 Starbucks gift card as their refund. As you can tell, this whole situation was a complete mess. Because of all this, people understandably lost trust in her abilities and eventually her image as a fitness influencer, and thus her fitness coaching business pretty much dissolved. Oh, but that was not the end of the Brittany Dawn saga. Fast forward to now, 2022. News broke recently that the state of Texas is suing Brittany Dawn. On February 1st, the Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against her, claiming she deceived and misled people.
Social media influencer Brittany Dawn is being sued by the state of Texas. The lawsuit claims from as early as 2014, Dawn sold a variety of fitness packages with promises of personalized nutritional guidance and individualized fitness coaching, costing customers up to $300 each. According to the lawsuit, those customers did not receive any personalized sessions.
So like I said, by now Brittany Dawn has completely shifted her content from fitness and wellness to Christian. This shift actually came right at the height of her whole fitness influencer controversy, right after she did an interview with Good Morning America to defend herself after people started calling her a scammer.
Dawn spoke to GMA, offering an explanation.
I jumped into an industry that had no instruction manual.
Following that interview, Dawn then shifted from fitness and lifestyle teaching to Christian preaching, offering religious retreats.
I guess she thought Jesus would protect her from the consequences of her actions. Like I said before, I firmly believe that this change in her content was 100% to deflect from the controversy surrounding her training business and an attempt to rebrand herself as well. Because a devout Christian can never do anything wrong, ever. Every single person who goes to church on Sunday and reads the Bible is 100% always a good person, always. And they never do anything wrong, ever. Oh, but she hasn't stopped taking people's money. She has managed to monetize her faith. Wow. This is fucked up to say, but I'm low-key surprised she didn't just join a multi-level marketing company. I'm sorry I laughed. It's not funny, but I laugh sometimes and it's inappropriate. I'm sorry. Brittany now hosts Christian retreats, which are not free. Oh, you think Jesus is free? Yeah, right. She's got a retreat coming up in April of this year, and the price of this one is $125 per person. That price covers your entry and dinner. Better not be keto. So back to this lawsuit. According to court documents, which I don't think they've been released yet, so I couldn't find them myself. These court documents, however, were referenced in several articles and publications that I came across while researching this video. Brittany is being accused of, among other things, misleading customers with eating disorders. Back around this time when she was a fitness influencer, across her social media, she made implications that she could help people out with eating disorders and thus that she knew what she was doing. An article on people.com which covers the news regarding this lawsuit reads, Davis is also accused of misleading those who suffered from eating disorders. As she promoted her plans to consumers on social media, Davis, who has 465,000 followers on Instagram and 247,000 subscribers on YouTube, often spoke on overcoming eating disorders herself with the help of exercise and a healthy diet, according to the documents. Due to the videos and links shared on her website, customers said they believe she had proper training to help them with eating disorders. According to the lawsuit, one client shared, quote, "The main reason I chose her, Miss Davis, out of all the coaches out there was specifically that she advertised herself as an eating disorder soldier," end quote, adding that she suffered from anorexia and at one point weighed less than 80 pounds. Davis allegedly offered low-calorie diet options, quote, "that would only be suitable for someone who needed to lose weight, not put on," end quote. According to the lawsuit, Davis has denied allegations that she, quote, "accepted consumers with eating disorders," end quote. But at least 14 customers who asked for refunds reference eating disorders in their official complaints. One stated in an onboarding survey, quote, "I truly need guidance, help, the right information and support right now. I currently have an eating disorder, horrible body image views. I am underweight for my height," end quote. To which Davis allegedly responded, quote, "Great, welcome to the hashtag Brittany Dawn family," end quote. Ken Paxton, the Texas State Attorney General, says that Brittany Dawn, quote, "engaged in false, misleading, and or deceptive acts or practices," end quote, all of which violate the Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The lawsuit is pursuing between $250,000 and $1 million, which is to cover civil penalties, attorney fees, and any other costs. That is a lot of Starbucks. So what's my take on this entire situation? I think it's fan-tastic. The fact that the Attorney General of the state of Texas has filed a lawsuit against her probably means that he likely believes that he has enough credible evidence against her to put together a slam dunk case to seek restitution from her and ultimately make her pay for her action. This entire situation should leave fitness influencers everywhere trembling in their Gymshark leggings. Now, I do need to say this. Not all fitness influencers are created equally. Obviously, in the context of this video and on my channel, I'm talking about the Brittany Dawns of Instagram. The fitness industry is unfortunately wildly unregulated. This means that any idiot with a shredded six-pack and a perky butt can get on Instagram and start selling training plans. Additionally, the nutrition industry, which is more regulated but not nearly as regulated as it should be in my opinion, these same idiots often start sharing terrible and often not evidence-based nutrition advice. And a lot of them are also doing meal plans as well. I think very, very few of them are educated and credentialed enough in their area. Something that I think a lot of influencers, I think a lot of them do this. They start out with their certs like up to date. The ones that do have certifications, they start off with their certs up to date and they actually keep them current. But as their following grows and as more people like start buying their programs, they eventually start to kind of just let their certs expire and they never re-up because why would they? They're making tons of money. Who the f cares about their credentials? Another valid point that I have to make here is a lot of these influencers look great. Washboard abs, super fit, muscular physique, and a lot of them are very attractive in the face, just overall. That's fine. It's not a bad thing to be hot. The problem is that these are things that uninformed consumers tend to prioritize over the person's actual credentials and education. Oh, well, Michi Peachy looks fantastic, so she must know what she's talking about. Meanwhile, she told my friend Ava that she would give her a fully customized program, and we had pretty clear-cut evidence that the plan was very clearly not customized. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link it below. Check out this video. In that video, I got to do a sit-down interview with somebody named Ava, and she actually paid for a training plan from Michi Peachy. This was a few years ago. My video was last year, but her working with Michi Peachy was a few years ago. And I can't even say she worked with her. Basically, the service that Ava got from Michi Peachy was very, very far from what she was promised and from what she was expecting. One thing, and Ava says this in the video, one thing that Ava said was her biggest motivation to choose to work with Michi Peachy was how she looked. And no one better fucking shame Ava for that either. At the time, she didn't know any better. She told me she wasn't on social media at all. Unfortunately, Ava has learned from this experience and now knows better, but there are millions and billions of people out there right now who don't know any better. I'm gonna just go ahead and be the one to say it now. A lot of fitness influencers look the way they look because of anabolic steroid use. To the uninformed consumer, however, they don't know that. They don't know that their favorite influencer that they look up to for body goals is on gear, but they still want to look like them. And a lot of those same influencers are always saying, if I can do it, you can do it too. Anybody can do it. Blah, 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 blah. Conveniently leaving out the fact that they are getting just a little bit of injectable help, if you know what I mean. This is misleading to consumers, and I would argue that influencers who do that are effectively lying by omission when they discuss how they achieved their physique without mentioning their steroid usage. Just keep that in mind the next time you see a fitness influencer and you're like, oh my god, hashtag body goals. I think I brought that up in a video from me reacting to fitness influencer workouts. I think that video was a few weeks ago at that point. Some of you commented and DM'd me and were like, hey, you should, like, would you ever talk about this? This is a really important topic. The topic of fitness influencers who are on gear, but don't disclose that to their following and act like their physique is completely natural. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who looks great is on steroids. That's not what I'm saying, because the fact is, that's not true. A couple people commented on the video and were like, hey, would you ever do a video talking about that steroid usage in the fitness industry and like how it's misleading to a lot of consumers? And honestly, I would, but I would want to collaborate with somebody who has like education in like pharmaceutical drugs, because I feel like I can understand the biology behind it. I actually have learned about steroid usage in school being a dietetics student, but it's just really how they can affect the physiology of the body. And it's really like, it was, when I say I've learned about it, it was like one PowerPoint slide in a module that I had in one of my classes. I don't feel like I know enough about it to sit down and make a full video about it. That's why I would really want to collaborate with somebody who like works in this branch of pharmaceuticals or who has experience like with pharmaceutical science or something like that. So I would be down, but not on my own. So I would, I don't know, if anybody wants to collab with me on that, or if you know anyone who I could maybe reach out to, let me know, because I'd be open to it, but I just don't feel comfortable talking about it completely myself, if that makes sense. Something else that's also an issue too is these influencers that have followings of like several 100,000. I think Michi Pichi actually has over 1 million, I want to say, followers. So they say, here's your customized plan, but they also don't put a cap on how many clients that they take. Clients, I mean, I think it's more like customers. And the reason that they probably don't put a cap on it is because Michi Pichi, this is just an example, has over 1 million followers on Instagram. If 100,000 of them, just 100,000 of them bought a program from her for $100, that is a lot of money. Can one person realistically give 100,000 people the individual attention and services that they need? Absolutely not. But so many of these influencers just don't give a shit. They don't care because they're making a lot of money. So what they do is they'll lie and they'll say, oh, here's a customized plan. You get this, this, and that with me. And they just give everybody the same cookie cutter plan, which is usually really geared toward weight loss, which is not everyone's goal also. So that's another thing, that it's not customized. They're just giving everybody the same plan because it's easy to just give everybody the same plan. Because like I said, you can't give 100,000 people your individual time and attention. You can't give 100,000 people what they need. So it's easy to just give everybody the same plan. But that doesn't make it right. And it's not right, especially when they advertise their services as custom. It's one thing if you say, here is this specific program, here's this specific thing. I have digital content on my website. It's not a program, it's not training plans like I have fitness guides. That's an example of something where it's okay that everybody gets the same thing because it's not a training program. It's not a nutrition program. It's just generalized information that everybody can use. So that's something where like, it's okay if 100,000 people want to buy that. It's okay if it's the same thing because it's not meant to be a customized training plan. So anyway, I hope this lawsuit is successful. And I hope it serves as a warning to fitness influencers everywhere who are just like Brittany Dawn. You cannot lie and mislead people forever. And if you have no legitimate credentials or education, you can't just do whatever you want and play therapist or physician or dietitian or physical therapist. It's unethical. And I really think that more needs to be done to criminalize this kind of behavior. Obviously, it's illegal to impersonate a doctor, but where are those same consequences for acting like a registered dietitian or a certified nutrition specialist when you're not? Anyway, I will be anxiously awaiting the outcome of this lawsuit. I'm not quite sure how long it'll drag on, especially with the current global parallelogram. Like I said, once we know more about the outcome, I will probably be talking about it here on my channel, so stay tuned. Woo! If you made it to the end of this video, I was about to say in conclusion, but I think I already concluded just now, so we can just like skip straight to the outro, right? And I also want to apologize if I was like fussing around with my hair too much. This is a new wig. Like I said, I was getting a little bored of my like having short wigs because all my other wigs are shorter, and I decided I would go for a long wig. And so I was like, well, you know, go big or go the fuck home. So I went full Kim Kardashian. And I'm not used to having, I'm just not used to having long hair like this. So I really hope I wasn't like too fussy with it. I really like it. I think I look like super, oh my God, so cute. Thank you so very much for watching. I love, love, love every single one of you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I'm doing this like you guys care. I know you just want to see the dogs. Where's my dogs? It's so quiet. Nobody's in there. Wow, look at all my tired babies. You are not sleeping. Hi, my babies. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. You guys are such babies. You guys are such babies. Say bye. Say bye. Say good luck, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton.